Good afternoon, students. In the previous class, we have seen what are the properties of ionic compounds. Okay, all the 7 we have seen, and even yesterday I recall them also. I hope you understood everything. And next, coming to this today's class, our next side heading is favorable conditions for the formation of ionic bond. What is our next side heading? Favorable conditions for the formation of ionic bond. To form the ionic bond, two important things are there. Those are formation of cation and formation of anion. How much easily the cation will be formed and how much easily the anion will be formed, that much easily ionic bond will be formed. Correct or not? A neutral atom is going to be converted as cation. If it converts into cation easily, then it can be formed as positive charged ion easily. As well as same other side, a negative charge is going to be formed easily. Then this positive charge and negative charge will be electrostatically attracted to be formed as ionic bond easily. That is favorable. Means what are the favorable conditions for the formation of ionic bond? Under that immediately we will get favorable conditions for the formation of cation. Okay, so observe the heading carefully. Favorable conditions for the formation of cation. A neutral atom must be converted to cation. What is my question? That is, when neutral atom will be converted to cation? When neutral atom will be converted to cation? By losing electron only? Correct or not? By losing electron. So indirectly we are seeing that what are the favorable conditions for the neutral atom to lose the electron easily. That conditions we are going to see. Okay. Before going to see the conditions, we want to know one definition. That is ionization energy. First, favorable conditions for the formation of ionic bond. Under that we will see separately favorable conditions for the formation of cation and favorable conditions for the formation of anion. Both of them we are going to see. Okay. So first we are going to keep the side heading, that is favorable conditions for the formation of cation. Okay. Now directly instead of going to that conditions, let us see what is this ionization energy. Okay. Let us see sodium example. Sodium electronic configuration we know 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. So this is the nucleus. This is first shell. This is second shell. And this is third shell. Okay. In first shell how many electrons we have? 2 electrons we have. Second shell 8 electrons are present. Second shell 8 electrons are present. Third shell we have 1 electron. Okay. Now coming to this ionization energy. See all of you. What did we say? The sodium wants to lose the electron. If it loses the electron, next shell, second shell has 8 electrons and first shell has 2. Totally it contains neon configuration. So it will be more stable. Na plus will be more stable when compared to sodium. That's why sodium immediately wants to lose the electron and to be converted to Na plus. Like that we said. Okay. But for losing this electron, my question is, simply it cannot lose. Correct or not? The electron which is present in the third shell simply it will not lose the electron, that sodium. Why? It has some energy. The electron which is present in this third shell has some energy. Okay, then what is going to happen? From outside we have to supply some amount of energy. From outside we have to supply some amount of energy. That energy will be absorbed by the electron. That energy will be absorbed by the electron and it is coming out. That energy is called ionization energy. That energy is called ionization energy. Okay, this is the energy required. This is the energy required to remove the outermost electron of sodium atom. This is the amount of energy required to remove the electron from outermost shell. To remove the electron from outermost shell. That energy is called ionization energy. Now perfect definition I am going to write on board. Under this ionization energy, write the definition also, all of you. Let us see. The minimum amount of energy, the minimum amount of energy required to remove the electron from outermost shell of neutral isolated gaseous atom. Read the definition once, all of you. The minimum amount of energy required to remove the electron from outermost shell of neutral isolated gaseous atom is called ionization energy. What are the conditions for this ionization energy, man? That atom must be neutral. Isolated means it is not in combined state, it is in atomic state only. Isolated, gaseous. Actually sodium, it is a solid one, but if you heat that one, it will become liquid. At boiling point it will become gas also. So we have to take that sodium in gas state. Not only sodium, from which atom if you want to remove the electron, okay, that atoms we have to take it in gas state. That is the condition to know the definition for ionization energy. Okay, in gas state only little bit they are far away from each other, they are free, then exactly whatever the energy we are giving, that is required to remove the electron only. In solid or liquid state some amount of energy will be wasted, that is not accurate energy. That's why we have to consider in gas state only. Okay ma'am, now once again see the definition of this energy. See, simple. This is the atom we have. It has outermost electron. Okay. To remove the electron, simply that atom will not lose. Definitely we have to provide some condition. That is only reaction conditions. If you provide the reaction condition, then only that reaction will be happened. Or naturally if it is going to be happened, that energy will be obtained from surroundings. But anyways, definitely some amount of energy is required. Some amount of energy is required to remove this electron from the outermost shell of neutral isolated gaseous atom. Okay, now one example. So many students we have. Okay, one student is making noise. Continuously he is making noise. Teacher said 2 or 3 times, okay, please be quiet, like that teacher said. But that student is not at all listening to that one. Then finally he or she, the teacher got some hesitation, and the teacher wants to send him out, him or her, that student. Okay, then what he has to do, teacher has to do, he has to apply some amount of energy to remove that student. Okay, simply by shouting. Even by shouting also we are consuming energy or not. Suppose I want to shout, get out like that, I want to shout. Okay, when we apply energy to shout, then only that boy will listen to that shouting, I am shouting like that, and he will go out. Correct or not? So, to remove that student means, general example, don't think any other thing. Na? This is the thing I want to know, sorry, I want to explain for your understanding purpose only. Okay, if you want to remove one student from this class, means if he or she making noise, teacher wants to send him out or her to out. Okay, we have to consume energy or not. Like that here also, if you want to remove electron from the neutral isolated gaseous atom, we need some energy. That energy is called ionization energy. Okay, now once again see the definition. The minimum amount of energy required to remove the electron from outermost shell of neutral isolated gaseous atom. Neutral isolated gaseous atom is called ionization energy. If you are clear about this one, now we will see the favorable condition. Okay, ma? Let us see. I have two atoms. Is it visible, ma? Okay. One is big atom and another one is small atom. Electron is present here. Here electron is present. My question is, out of these two atoms, from which atom we can remove the electron easily? Two atoms I gave. Big atom and small atom. Okay. From out of these two atoms, we can remove the electron easily from which atom? We can remove the electron easily from which atom? This is A and this is B. We can remove the electron from A atom easily because this nucleus and electron distance is high. When distance increases, attraction force decreases. Okay, so by giving less amount of energy, we can remove the electron. That means easily we can remove the electron. What is this meaning here? Less ionization energy. This energy is called ionization energy. In this condition, that ionization energy is less. Okay, here we require high ionization energy. IE means ionization energy. Okay. So, which one can lose the electron easily, or from which atom we can remove the electron easily? It will be converted to cation fastly. It will be converted to cation because after the removal of electron from a neutral atom, this is converted to cation. Is it correct or not? So out of these two atoms, which atom will be converted to cation easily? This atom, which has less ionization energy. The atom with less ionization energy can form the cation easily. The atom with less ionization energy can form the cation easily. This is the favorable conditions for the formation of cation. First condition. I will note down. Before writing that one, I hope you understood. Okay, here distance is less. From electron to nucleus, distance is less. We require high amount of energy to remove that electron because attraction will be strong. If the distance is less, attraction is strong. If the distance increases, attraction decreases. If distance increases, attraction decreases. Then less amount of energy is required. Then Less amount of energy required means we can remove the electron easily. That is the meaning. Less amount of energy is required means we can remove the electron easily. Okay. Teacher wants to send one student. One student is highly complicated. Another student simply by shouting he can go out. But another student, even by shouting also, okay, he will stand there only. Ma'am, I can't do anything. Like that, he wants to say the explanation. For that students, what we have to do? We have to give more amount of energy. That means I have to catch him and I have to send out. It requires more amount of energy. Correct or not? Like that here also. In which condition we can remove the electron easily? Atom with less ionization energy. Atom with less ionization energy, generally it is bigger atom. Okay, because in bigger atom, nucleus and outermost electrons are far away from each other. Then electrons attracted by the nucleus will be less. We can remove the electron easily. Are you okay, ma? This is the difference between big atom and small atom. So bigger atoms generally they can form the cation easily. Bigger atoms they can form the cation easily because from bigger atoms we can remove the electrons easily from outermost shell, that those contain less ionization energy. Okay, now I am going to write the point. I hope you are clear. Observe the diagram, all of you. I wrote two atoms A and B. Okay, A is bigger atom which contains less ionization energy. B is smaller atom which contains high ionization energy. Out of these two atoms, which one will be converted to cation easily? That bigger atom is there, na? It can be converted to cation easily. It requires less ionization energy. Okay, now let us see what I am going to write. First condition, the atom with less ionization energy can form cation easily. The atom with less ionization energy can form cation easily. This is the first condition. Okay. Next, second condition is same. Bigger atom means I give this is bigger atom and this is smaller atom. See, distance from outermost shell and nucleus. Here distance from outermost shell from nucleus. This is called atomic radius. Distance from outermost shell to the nucleus is called atomic radius. In maths, you know, the last we will draw one circle. Okay, that outer point on the circle towards the center, we will say that is radius. Like that, this is atom. Atom is also like a sphere. Okay, then that is atomic radius. Distance from outermost shell to the center nucleus is called atomic radius. Okay, which one has less ionization energy or which one can lose the electron easily? Atom with bigger atomic radius. Atom with high atomic radius can form the cation easily. Bigger atom can lose the electron easily when compared to small atom. Till now we have seen that one only. But in terms of ionization energy we have seen. First one, atom with less ionization energy can form cation easily. Now I am going to write the point, that is the atom with high atomic radius, the atom with high atomic radius can form cation easily. The atom with high atomic radius atom contains less ionization energy. Both are almost same only, but this is in terms of ionization energy, this is in terms of atomic radius. Okay, ma? Now once read the two conditions, all of you. First one, the atom with less ionization energy can form cation easily. Second one, the atom with high atomic radius can form cation easily. Now we are going to see third one, that is third one. After explanation I will write, ma. Before that, once note down this carefully, all of you. Atom with less ionization energy can form cation easily. Atom with high atomic radius can form cation easily. Next. Two atoms I am going to take. Sodium and zinc. Sodium electronic configuration. Okay, sodium wants to be converted to Na plus. Zinc wants to be converted to Zn plus 2. Zinc wants to be converted to Zn plus 2. Okay. Sodium electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. This is the electronic configuration of sodium. Na plus electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. Okay. This is the electronic configuration of neon, which is inert gas. Okay, this is Na and Na plus. Now coming to this Zn and Zn plus 2. This Zn is electronic configuration of Zn is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d10. What is the electronic configuration of zinc? 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d10. It wants to be converted to Zn plus 2. Neutral atom should be converted to unipositive ion by losing one electron. But neutral atom to be converted to dipositive ion means plus 2 charge. It wants to lose 2 electrons. If a neutral atom loses 1 electron, it is formed as plus 1 charge. If a neutral atom loses 2 electrons, it is formed as plus 2 charge. Okay. So from zinc, we have to remove how many electrons? 2 electrons. Those 2 electrons will be removed from 4s2 because this is outermost shell. See, this is first shell, second, this 3 third shell. This is belonging to fourth shell. So outermost shell electrons are only going to be removed. Then these 2 electrons will be removed. Then electronic configuration of Zn plus 2 is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 3d10. 3s2, 3p6, 3d10. Outermost shell. Next, after fourth shell, what is the outermost shell? Third shell. Outermost shell has 18 electrons. Outermost shell has 18 electrons. Here, outermost shell has 8 electrons. This is called inert gas configuration. This is called inert gas configuration. But in Zn plus 2, it is showing 18 electrons. You can ask me a question, sir, with 18 electrons, how it is stable? Okay, maximum this inert gas configuration is suitable for some particular type of elements only. Okay, remaining some peculiar properties are there, like zinc, mercury, like that. Okay, they will show 18 electrons in their outermost shell. Even with 18 electrons also, they are showing stable configuration. But that is not inert gas configuration. Inert gas configurations are only 2, duplet and octet only. Okay, but what about this one? This is called pseudo inert gas configuration. What is that? Pseudo inert gas configuration. If outermost shell has 18 electrons, then the configuration is called pseudo inert gas configuration. If the outermost shell has 2 electrons or 8 electrons, that is, those two are called inert gas configurations. Okay, now what is our favorable condition for the formation of cation? That one we will see. Before that, observe the board, all of you. Observe the board, all of you. And what did you observe? That one is Sodium, by losing one electron, it is forming inert gas configuration. Zinc, by losing two electrons, it is forming pseudo inert gas configuration. Okay. The atom which forms, or the cation which forms inert gas configuration can be formed easily. The cation with inert gas configuration can be formed easily when compared to pseudo inert gas configuration. So, out of Na plus and Zn plus 2, which cation can be formed easily? Na plus can be formed easily. Which cation? Cation with inert gas configuration can be formed easily when compared to cation with pseudo inert gas configuration. So, if there is a competition between sodium and zinc to form the cation, sodium will be formed as Na plus easily when compared to zinc, Zn plus 2. Okay, so which is the favorable condition for the formation of cation? To form the inert gas configuration. That is the meaning. Third one, I am going to mention it as a point. Before that, the difference between these two is one cation contains outermost shell 8 electrons, that is called inert gas configuration. Another cation contains 18 electrons in the outermost shell, which is called pseudo inert gas configuration. Okay, now out of these two cations, which cation can be formed easily? The cation which has inert gas configuration will be formed easily. So, sodium can be converted to Na plus easily when compared to zinc to Zn plus 2. Okay, now I am going to write the point. I hope you are clear about this concept. Okay, after writing the point it will be more clear. Let us see that one. This is the third favorable condition for the formation of cation. The cation with inert gas configuration can be formed easily when compared to the cation with pseudo inert gas configuration. This third condition, observe all of you. The cation with inert gas configuration can be formed easily when compared to the cation with pseudo inert gas configuration. So, instead of zinc and if you give competition between sodium and zinc, sodium can be formed as Na plus easily when compared to zinc to Zn plus 2. Okay, these are the three conditions. What is the first condition, ma? The atom with less ionization energy can be formed as cation easily. Second one, atom with high atomic radius can be formed as cation easily. Third one, the cation with inert gas configuration can be formed easily when compared to the cation with pseudo inert gas configuration. Okay, these are the three favorable conditions for the formation of cation. In the same way, we are going to see favorable conditions for the formation of anion also. Easy only. Let us see that one, all of you. Next slide ready. Under this only, B. Favorable conditions for the formation of anion. Okay, before going to this directly conditions, same In cation, what is the thing we have studied? That is ionization energy. Same in this way, we have one definition here, that is electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity. Electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity. Okay, that one we are going to study. Same in ionization energy, while we are learning, what is the condition we have taken? Neutral isolated gaseous atom we have taken. Neutral isolated gaseous atom. In the same way, here also we are going to take neutral isolated gaseous atom. I am going to take neutral isolated gaseous atom. Let us consider chlorine. Okay, chlorine contains 3 shells. 1, 2 and 3. In first shell it has 2 electrons. In second shell it has 8 electrons. Third shell it has 7 electrons. Okay, if it gains 1 electron, that is only we are talking about anion, correct? If that chlorine gains 1 electron, it will get nearest inert gas configuration neon. It will get neon configuration. Okay, sorry, argon. If chlorine gets 1 electron, it will get nearest inert gas argon configuration. For that, chlorine wants to gain 1 electron. Chlorine wants to gain 1 electron. Okay, so this electron wants to come into the outermost shell, correct? Which is lost from sodium. Let us think like that. Sodium loses that electron by using some ionization energy. Sodium loses that electron. Now that electron wants to come into this outermost shell, but what is happening here? To electron to enter into this shell, it is actually chlorine wants to gain that electron, but already outermost shell contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 electrons are present. 7 electrons contain which charge? Negative charge. This electron also contains negative charge. Okay, so these 7 electrons, they are not allowing that electron to enter into that orbit easily because repulsions. 7 electrons contain 7 negative charges. That newly coming electron also contains same negative charge. Between same charges, we can see repulsions. Okay, so but anyways that electron should come into that orbit because chlorine wants to get stability. So at a time 2 are there, that is chlorine wants that electron as well as that electron is experienced by repulsion forces. But finally stability is more important, in anyways that it will be coming into the orbit. But because of that repulsions, 7 electrons and this 1 electron repulsion, some amount of energy will be lost. Some amount of energy will be lost. That energy is called electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity. The energy lost at the time electron is entering into the outermost shell is called electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity. Now it can be defined as the amount of energy released. Required means that is over. Now this is released in the amount of energy released when one electron enters into the outermost shell of neutral isolated gaseous atom. Neutral isolated gaseous atom is called electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity. Okay, how much amount of energy is released? If it is released with high amount of energy, okay, after that this neutral atom is converted to Cl minus. Chlorine loses the energy to form Cl minus. Cl minus has lower energy when compared to Cl. Then that is highly stable. Correct or not? How much amount of energy is lost here, that much high electron affinity is there. If it loses high amount of energy, high electron affinity. If it loses less amount of energy, less electron affinity. If it loses high amount of energy, high electron affinity. Definition of electron affinity is the amount of energy released. Okay, if that amount of energy released is high, electron affinity is also high. If the amount of energy released is less, electron affinity is also less. That is the meaning. Okay, now what is the thing we can conclude? If the energy released is high, that substance has high electron affinity and it can be converted to Cl minus. That means anion easily. That one in favorable conditions we will see. Okay, before that, what is the definition of this electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity? Okay, once again I am repeating, the amount of energy released, when an electron is added to, neutral isolated gaseous atom is called electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity. Okay, now I am going to write the definition here. The amount of energy released when an electron is added to the outermost shell of neutral isolated gaseous atom. Read the definition once. The amount of energy released when an electron is added to the outermost shell of neutral isolated gaseous atom is called electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity. Okay, note down this definition, all of you. After this, we will start with favorable conditions for the formation of anion. Once again, I am repeating the definition. The amount of energy released when an electron is added to the outermost shell of neutral isolated gaseous atom. Is called electron affinity or electron gain enthalpy. Okay, by seeing the diagram it will be more clear. While that electron is entering into the orbit, that electron is repelled by 7 electrons present in that orbit. Because of that repulsions, energy will be released. You can ask me, sir, if that many repulsions are happened between 7 electrons and newly coming electron, even though by opposing that many repulsions, why that electron enters into the orbit? Because it wants to get stability. Is it correct or not? Same way, even our thing, human beings also will do. Suppose now we are booking the tickets, movie tickets through our mobile. Okay, maximum we got online. In olden days, at our time, we have no smartphones like that in our childhood. Okay, if you want to go to movie, definitely we have to stand in a queue to take the ticket from theater directly. Okay, we are very much interested to watch the movie. Suppose if you are very much interested to watch the movie, then what is our opinion? Even though how many people will be standing, even though how much big crowd is there at the time of tickets distribution, okay, we want to go inside and we want to get the ticket. So even though how many repulsions are present, when our mind will be stable, if we watch the movie, then only our mind will be stable. Correct or not? To get that stability to watch the movie, even though how many repulsions are there, we want to achieve that one. Same way here also, even how many repulsions are present for that electron, that chlorine wants to get stability like Cl minus, argon configuration. So it wants to gain the electron. That is the thing. Okay. If you are very much clear about the definition of electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity, okay, now we will go through first favorable condition for the formation of anion. Okay, before going to that first favorable condition, what about this electron gain enthalpy definition? The amount of energy released. The amount of energy released when an electron is added to the outermost shell of neutral isolated gaseous atom. Okay, if more repulsions are present, high amount of energy will be released. Okay, high amount of energy will be released. If high amount of energy is released, that negative charge is that much highly stable. That is formed as anion easily. Okay, that is first favorable condition. That one clearly I will explain. Before that, I hope you are clear about the favorable conditions for the formation of anion. Sorry, definition of electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity. Okay, so this is about today's class. In today's class, we have started with the concept that is favorable conditions for the formation of cation, and all the favorable conditions, three conditions we have seen. Under that we got the definition also, that is ionization energy. After that, we have started with this concept that is favorable conditions for the formation of anion. Under this, we have seen only electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity. Okay, after completion of this, we have to go through conditions. First condition, second condition, third. Even for anion also 3 conditions are there. That 3 conditions we will see in next class. Okay, this is about today's class. You understood the concept, I think, definitely. Okay, any doubts if you have, you can ask me questions, no problem. Okay. Okay, have a nice day. Thank you all.